Hello beautiful people of the internet. Today I'm going to show you how to handle protected routes in your React router or your React app. So initially we are done routing using React router DOM, and today I want to show you to easily secure your application routes using some layout components. So as you can see, I have an app here already that is fetching from a local server that are built for this. So this is just a simple blog with the image, title, and just a small body. What's expected of us here is to be able to edit this post, and from there, let's say if you log in, then you are able to see a point for create a new post. The database for user is just mocking, so I'll just show you how the application works. So when you go to the home page, you'll get these items. So from here, if you click on one, it should take you to a single product page where you're able to see the details of that app. And if you click on edit and just say maybe say temporary, then if you update, it should come here and show you it has updated successfully, and it will be the first one. So let's see how we are going to protect this. So going to our application, so what we are expected to do, this is the sign up where you enter your email and your details and your role. We are not using password here, so if I click login, it should now bring the create post and the profile. If I click on the profile, you are just able to see welcome to your profile at Orinda. That's my username. If I come to create post, I can still be able to create post, then save entry. Yeah, so let's see how to go about it. I have app here already set up for everything. So I have the pages ready, and what's required, let's just see the components that will require us to protect, because login page will require it only to be displayed when user is not logged in, and profile if a user is logged in, and let's say create post, we should only display it when a user is logged in. So how do we go about this? We'll go to this is my folder structure. So I have before I proceed, let me just tell you how this is structured. We have the router, which contains all the routes, then the app component, which loads all the routes, then we have the pages, which contains all our pages, and create post for creating a single post, delete post, edit post, and some error pages. We have the home page, which displays all the posts, and we also have the login for just logging in, profile, and single post component. There's not much going on here. In the coming series, I'll be talking about the actions. So I'll just start with the protected route, then we'll go to the other part. So what you need to know, let's just create a readme. So what you need to know, there's something known as authentication and authorization. So these are two confusing terms. So how do they differ from each other? So authentication is identifying user by what they are. So identity by what you offer. That can be maybe your biometrics, or maybe passwords, emails, and many others. While in authorization is now a restriction of user based on permission that they are given. So in this case, you are only authorized once you are authenticated. So that means you might be authenticated but you don't have any right. So let's say if someone is an admin, another one is just a basic user, another one is a moderator. So what happens once you log in, there will be your details, and it is these details that are used to identify you. You may have like your permissions that are ordained to you, which will use to authorize you for given resources. So we can restrict given pages for only admins, only users, and only moderators. So user can access what an admin can access. Admin can access everything that a moderator can access, and a moderator can access everything that a moderator can access, going down to the user. And only user usually has like read-only permissions in the system, not unless it's their profile. So let's see how we can go about this. There's this principle of layout component. So a layout component is a component that is used to take another component and maybe return that component after checking some values, or just displaying that component below it or inside it. So I had discussed it in the previous tutorial, where we discussed about the different layouts if you're working with things like dashboards. So today I'll just be fast. So what we've done here, we've said a login page should only be accessible if a user is not authorized. So that means if we go to / let's say login, we should not be able to access it if we have this profile which is active. So that means we have to protect it against logged in users, so that they don't access that page once they are already logged in. So we'll start by unauthorized. We'll just create a component known as unauthorized. Unauthorized authorized.tsx. So then we just create that component, and what we need to do here, we need to I already have state management already set up here using context API, and the context here is just having a username, email, and role. Then we have the auth state, which contains a simple token, a user state, and maybe loading and authenticated. So if we come to the index, then you'll just see I have a bunch of setup here. The code looks too much all over the place, but don't worry about it, because we'll just be using it for everything is already set up. So the state is already there, and retrieving content from this, I'm using a custom hook known as use auth and use app state. So this for obtaining all the state properties, and the use auth I'm using only to get the auth properties of the application. Benefits of this, you only need to call that use auth and you get the current state of your application. So if let's go to the unauthorized, where's the component? So we've created the unauthorized. So what we need to do here, we need to get our auth const we'll destructure it is equals to use auth So what we need here, it's const, not cost, is authenticated. So what happens here, we'll check if a user is not authenticated, then now we render that page. That if they're not authenticated, then we should be able to render that page, otherwise we should take them to a different page. So what will happen here, if you're going to navigate a user, the redirect used by React router, we use navigate component. So we'll check if user not is authenticated, we return this. So we'll use a ternary operator. If user is not authenticated, then we just return children. But let's first create type, because it's TypeScript. We write props here. Then we have our children, JSX.element. So we have to supply a react.functional component, then we just pass props. Then we can destructure children here. Okay, so we return children if user is not authenticated, or we just navigate that user to path should be home page. Then we do a replacement so that we don't come back to this state. So let's see how this will operate. Let's try it out. All you need to do now is to use this unauthorized to wrap your component in the router. So you'll come here to the login page, then say unauthorized. Then inside the unauthorized, then now we can be able to try to go to login, and you'll see it will automatically redirect you back to the home page because you're already authorized. Unauthorized, you're already authorized, so there's no need to take you back to the login page. So the vice versa will work if now we're working with auth state. So we have a couple of elements here which require protection, like creating a post, editing a post, viewing a post is for everyone, and maybe deleting a post, and checking your profile. So you should not be able to check your profile. Let's say if you log out, you'll stay here, but it will have something like undefined. So if I refresh still, we will have undefined. So how do we go about this? We need to wrap this with a protected layout. So we'll just come here again to we now use maybe protected.tsx, then we say rfce. Then what we do here, we just pick everything in unauthorized, bring it to protected, then change this to protected. All we need to do here is to change if is authenticated, we return children, otherwise we navigate to what we need to do here, we need to navigate to home page. But here comes a scenario when now you are trying to access maybe a given post, you want to edit it directly, but there's no chance. So if we redirect you to that page, we direct you to home page, but you wanted to access your profile, then it won't make sense to navigate you to the login, the index page. So what we need to do is to get our current location is equals to, we use a hook known as use location hook dot path name. Okay, so with it here, what we'll do here, we'll navigate you to login page, but there is something known as state. So in your location there's something known as state. So the state is the current value held in the state of your location. So if we need to transfer this state via the navigate, then we need to pass that state here. It will be an object, but what do we define in it? We are navigating from the location that we are accessing as at now, okay, so that when we go to login page we have access to this state value. You'll see in a short while how that will work. So what we've said here, I have this my auth and my location and what have you. I'm just checking if a user is authenticated. We return the children component. Otherwise we navigate you to the login and the current location that you're trying to access. So let's see how that will go. So let's start with the profile. So we just come to the profile and say protected. We protect the profile. Yep. So once we do that, then you'll see things have changed. So if we check here, nothing to log, but let's try to see where's the login page. We can where's the login? So what you can do is to get that state that I had said earlier, const maybe state is equals to use location dot state, use location, call the hook dot state. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just log that state dot log the state. So if we check, you'll see we have profile here. Okay, we have profile, such that if in this place when I'm navigating, let's say I'm just going to that page and say admin, then I log in, you'll see it will take me directly to the profile page. So that's the essence of using that state when now you're redirecting a user to a given page. So you navigate directly to that page. So let's log out again and see what happens. So what I'm doing here, after logging in the user, I do this. Let me just make this to be some random string, new date dot get time dot to stream. Okay, so once I log in a user, I check if there's that state dot from. If it's not there, then I navigate to the home page. So let's say I just wanted to go there, then I navigate directly to login. If I go directly to login, let's log out first. Then if I go to home, then try to access login directly, or can access it via this link. So if I go to login, you can see the state is null. So if it's null, then if I log in, I will be taken to the home page. Okay, so so let's see how to protect those other pages. So mhm. So we have protected our profile, and let's say we are able to edit. We can edit. So with edit we can edit, but we cannot create. So protected. Then if we come to create post, this one now will require admin permission. Okay, so this will require admin permission to create a given post. Okay, so let's just go ahead and log in admin. Then you can see we have this here. Why have I logged out again? Let's just go with this. Then you have that profile. So if I go to create post, then I'm able to access that page. But still, even if I log out, let's see, create. So if I log out and go to create, then I'm able to still access it. So let's see how, if now you're working with the permissions, let's see how we'll go about that. So let's say admin protected .tsx. We do the same thing. Come to protected, get these props, just copy everything and bring it to the admin protected. Then Control D, add admin protected. Then what you need to do here, we don't check the is authenticated, we check for the role. User, then we destructure the role. So role is equals to, let's say, admin. Okay, let's see, user state auth state type. Let's just check here. So role, let's say it's admin, maybe user and moderator. Okay, so if we come here, we'll have to come to protected. Then if we check here, user, let's just destructure user as user auth. User auth. So what we'll do, we say user auth dot dot role is equals to, let's say, admin for now. So if it's admin, return children, otherwise we won't navigate. Let's see, just what we'll do here first, we'll do a protected. We'll do protected first, is when now we pass everything here. So protected version of it. So what this does, we won't again check the authenticated, because now we are doing the, if we wrap with the protected, then now we are able to like get it via the protected. Then if it's not protected, then let's just say here maybe h1 forbidden. It's just, let's say forbidden. Then we can have a link to home. Let's say to home. So if we now want to protect, see the error that's here. Okay, let me just disable that for now. And what we'll need to do here, use auth is not used here, the form is not used here. So let's go to this page, and to in the create post we'll just say admin protected. Okay, so if we go to the admin protected, let's say create. So if we go to create it and we log, you see we have an object, then it's from create. What will happen if we just add this, then you'll see we are taken there. Why? Because our current role is admin. Let's say I log in as let me just log out, so that I log in as just from here, then log in as maybe Jane at Gmail, then say user. Okay, so if I'm a user, then I try to access the create post, you'll see I'm given this forbidden. Okay, it's forbidden. So reason being, we've wrapped this with our protected to check if it's the user is logged in. Afterwards we do a role check. This is now the authorization part. So the protected is doing the authentication, while the admin protected is doing the authorization. So I hope that's beneficial, and probably you've gained one or two. In summary, let's see what we've covered. So we get a component, we create a layout component for that. Afterwards, we check if a user is logged in based on whichever auth provider you're using, whether it's Redux or Context API. Then from there we navigate. After navigating, so that's part of the authentication part. Then now, if we now want to authorize, now we can use our authenticator a layout component to wrap our authorization component, from which we are able to look up the authentication part and the authorization within the authorization component. So unauthorized, just to ensure component that we should see only if we are unauthorized, like the login page or the registration page, and the protected or the authorized but authenticated, but it should be unauthenticated. Then now we have the authenticated, which is the protected. So this should be, let me just rename it to unauthenticated. Unauthenticated to yes, change it, Control D. Yeah, unauthenticated. Then this one, the protected, is the authenticated. So here we check if not authenticated, we render that component. Otherwise we navigate to that given component. I hope you've gained one or two things here and there, and let's just head back home. In the coming series, I'm going to do the form component, which I had promised earlier, and from there we'll be able to see how to work with the React router form and its hooks. And afterwards I'll maybe create how to manage React state using Context API with the TypeScript. If you like this content, please give it a like, thumbs up, destroy the subscribe button, so that I may continue to create such kind of content. Thank you.